Hey guys, how you going? Okay, let's get into some news. Kanoka.substack.com said Pink Floyd's Roger Waters accuses Joe Biden, Anthony Blinken and Victoria Nuland of engineering a war. You could have kept Secretary of State Baker's promise not to advance NATO. You could have refrained from engineering the illegal Maidan coup d'etat. You could have supported the Minsk Accords. Now we are told by Angela Merkel, they were just a ruse to buy time to arm Ukraine for the war that you were engineering.
You and Anthony Blinken and Victoria Nuland and Jake Sullivan and the rest of the warmongering neocons at the heart of government here in Washington, along with the vassal states in NATO, are the principal provocateurs that I mentioned. I am not apologizing for Mr. Putin, you understand, but just to glance fleetingly back at the history of the last 30 years or so. You could have done better. You could have followed President Gorbachev's lead in 1989. You could have kept Secretary of State Baker's promise not to advance NATO 1 yard closer to the Russian border than the eastern extremities of a reunited Germany. You could have responded to President Putin's overtures in his famous 10th of February 2007 speech at the Security Conference in Munich, and shepherded us all towards a much, much safer Europe. Or, in 2008, you could have chosen not to expand NATO eastwards. Or, in 2014, you could have refrained from engineering the illegal Maidan coup d'etat in Ukraine. Or, in 2019, you could have supported the Minsk Accords. Now we're told by Angela Merkel they were just a ruse to buy time to arm Ukraine for the war that you were engineering.
Wow, that's really interesting, isn't it? I'm going to retweet that. Okay, let's go into my bookmarks and see what we've got in there. Some disturbing stuff in there. Okay, Ollie London said God is trans according to non-binary Jeffrey Marsh. Oh, let's listen to this. We're going to focus on this person because I believe this person needs their hard drive checked really badly.
God is non-binary. The Church of England is considering removing all gendered language around God, and thank goodness. You know, if man's created in God's image and woman is created in God's image, then God must be trans. Everyone deserves the chance to relate to God on their own terms. God is for everyone of every gender.
Blasphemy. Seriously, this person needs a hard drive checked, and I'll show you why. There's more. Monk said, Jeffrey Marsh, tell your kids to come to his Patreon, and the first thing he wants to talk about is sex. Then he goes on to give absolute garbage advice meant to put a wedge between you and your children. This is pretty much grooming. Okay, let's have a listen. This was him earlier on.
Hello, Patreoners. I want to tell you a story that I never have put on social media, that I never have told to anyone. It's about Jeff and I having sex. And are you allowed to talk about that on Patreon? But it's actually not about that. It's about having childhood trauma and how for the very longest time, years actually, I couldn't let go in my sex life. So Jeff and I have been together for 12 years now. We've been married for 2. And we've been monogamous that whole time. And for, the first couple years, it was touch and go about, whether I could relax, whether I could be present, for it, whether trauma would come up or not. And it was something we worked through together because we love and care about each other deeply. And I hope that makes you feel less alone.
I wonder if someone abused this person when they were younger. Is that all there was?
And care about each other deeply. And I hope that makes you feel less alone if sex is like a big scary thing for you. A big difficult thing for you. A big difficult subject for you. Love you lots. Hope you're doing well. Bye. A birdie.
Honestly, he is talking to children. This is one of his Patreon exclusives, and he's asking children constantly to join his Patreon. Let's have a listen.
She says, what the fuck does that mean? She steamrolls over your experience or your emotions. She makes it all about her. She tries to manipulate you with guilt. That is really valuable information about how to proceed. If you go no contact and she says, I love you very much, I respect your decision, please take as much space as you need, I'll be working on myself and I'm ready if you ever want to have contact again. That's helpful information too. Give it a shot.
He's telling children to have no contact with their parents if they don't agree with their gender. That's what he's doing. He's talking about the mother. Seriously, this man needs his hard drive checked. Not only grooming, it's also predatory. Who knows what he says or does in those conversations? A man should be arrested. Ollie London again said kids should not be watching Jeffrey Marsh's videos on TikTok. All of his videos target young children where he teaches them to hate their parents, isolates them from safeguards and attempts to confuse them with gender ideology. This is not okay behaviour. For kids only. There's no video there, is it? No, this is him saying for kids only. Okay, the Woke Exposed said, is this the new Jeffrey Marsh? Creepily targeting trans kids and telling them how much he loves them. We've got another one. Check out, I checked this man's hard drive too.
Hey, what's up? It's just your transgender big brother who's been on T for 9.5 years and got his top surgery about 8.5 years ago. And I'm here because I love ya. I love ya, and I know what it's like to be where you're at. And let's just be like bros here. What's up, little bro? What do you need to talk about? I got your back. I want you to leave a comment, ask me a question. I want to send you positive love, positive vibes. I want you to know that you are seen and heard and valued. And it doesn't matter if anybody messes with you in the world. If there's other family members that don't understand you and your identity, know that I got your back. I might kick their ass for you. In the name of love. But I'm here. I'm sending you so much love right now, little bro. Whatever you need, just know I'm in your corner. You're not alone. I've been there. You're gonna get through it. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm right here. I'm right here for you. Okay? Have a beautiful rest of your day. I've got you.
My God. Is this some female to male? Because they said they got the top surgery. I don't know. Possibly. But this person also needs their hard drive checked. What are they on? This is a biological girl. Oh, I can't keep up with this nonsense. This is her before she transitioned. Oh my goodness. What happened, love? They never hated their body. Well, why did they change then? Something really wrong here. Really, really wrong. Police, FBI, useless. Someone go check these people's hard drives, for goodness sake. Claire I said, let them lose you. What the F is Jeffrey Marsh suggesting here? Okay, what the hell is going on?
I hope you need to hear this today. Let them lose you. They have had enough chances to have a beautiful, brilliant, sparkling, giving person like you in their lives. Let them lose you.
Again, trying to distance children from their parents by the sound of that. Is there more of a thread here? Oh, they've turned off comments. Says it all, doesn't it? I think they shut down their Patreon too. Be the change, said Jeffrey Marsh has made a Patreon that is targeted toward our children. How is this not grooming? Jeffrey Marsh, do you want the inside scoop? Patrons get exclusive access to personal anecdotes and wisdom, extra content from their videos, intimate stories from their past. Well, if it's anything like one of the first ones we've seen... Oh, that's my cat. Sorry, guys. When they were talking about their husband... Uncensored videos about topics that they're not able to talk about on social media. Patreon were kicking conservatives off, right? So how on earth are they allowing this? I think that shows you what Patreon's about as well. Q&As and direct messaging with this person, behind the scenes content and ad-free content. Oh dear God. They're after the children, honestly. Take them out. Take them out of schools. Just keep your children, keep an eye on them. Caramel said, my parents when I was a kid, tricky people will tell you that they're very mature for your age and tell you it's okay to be vulnerable. Jeffrey Marsh, it's okay to be mature for your age. It's okay to be vulnerable. Not only do I think this dude is a straight up pedo, he's conditioning kids for his pedo friends. Now listen to this again.
You're very mature for your age is just code for you became the child nobody had to worry about. You weren't even acting like an adult. You were acting like someone without needs. That doesn't happen. It's okay to be you. That's not real. That's not human. It's okay to have needs and be vulnerable.
Oh dear God. It just makes me wonder what he does talk about with people on Patreon. It really does. This guy needs checking out. Okay, more from Ollie London. Grooming 101 by Jeffrey Marsh. Turn the child against their parents. Separate them from their safety net. Again, TikTok continues to promote his videos, which each get hundreds of thousands of views. Oh, here we go again. Here we go.
Toxic parents treat...
Oh, hang on.
Parents treat children, their kids, like they are adults with bad intentions. Toxic parents...
No, Jeffrey, you are an adult with bad intentions.
Parents treat their kids as if the kids were adults with bad motivations.
No, you have bad motivations.
How could you do this to me? You're making us late on purpose. You've been mean to me since you were 5.
Who says that?
This is why you're so highly engaged whenever anybody falsely accuses you. Now, don't be manipulated. Don't fall for it. And don't live your life trying to defend yourself against other people.
Well, I hope this person has to defend themselves in court sometime. Seriously.
Toxic.
Okay, Matt Walsh said, will conservatives have another heart attack and call me mean and cruel if I say this guy is a deranged evil predator? No, I happen to agree with Matt Walsh on a few things. Not everything, but...
Your parents screwed up. It's okay to say so. That's why I made a Patreon, so that we could talk about it, so that we could connect in a way that has more privacy, so that we could talk to each other in a way that's more open and stuff that we wouldn't share like in the comments of a video like this. I think you're worthy and valuable, and I wanted to spend more connected time with you, healing together and hearing your deeply inspiring stories.
Okay, listen up, kids. This man's a groomer, and your parents care more about you than he ever would. He's just trying to get you to do something that's wrong. Gays Against Groomers even is coming out against this. This is what your kids are learning on TikTok, and make no mistake, this man knows his main audience are children.
Biological sex is fake. Yes, we all know that gender roles are fake, but do not say to a trans person, biologically male, born female, male-bodied. No, 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 no. There is no biological criteria for gender that is both universal and a binary in human beings. Where does that leave us?
This person does not know what the they're talking about.
Free. Biological sex is...
This is the pseudoscience these people follow. The same pseudoscience that gave us climate change. The same pseudoscience that gave us the coof. Okay. Now let's watch a Muslim woman point out how creepy Jeffrey Marsh is, and I back this woman 100%. Now, I have in the past probably given Muslims a hard time, like not personally in life, but online, probably given Muslims a hard time. But it's like every country. People have good and bad in every country. And anyway, I believe the CIA invented Al-Qaeda and all that. Anyway, so they're the only ones who I'm against. But let's have a listen to this lady, because I happen to agree with her on a lot of stuff. And I'm pretty sure Muslims and Christians should start getting together, because I think they'd agree on a whole lot more than they think. Okay, let's have a look. I can't even click on it now.
Inspirational.
Okay guys, this video is going to be a bit long.
Stop telling trans people that we're inspirational.
Stop telling kids to go on your Patreon and chat to you privately without their parents knowing.
And then a lot of people made stitches of me saying I'm transphobic, I've done a lot of bad stuff, they've even attacked my scarf, my religion, a lot of bad stuff, which I don't want to go into. And these people have also said they are not talking to the kids. Okay, so I did a little bit of digging.
Hi, kids. Hey, kids. I want to talk to the kids. Hi, kids. Hey, kids.
So yeah, there's a lot of videos of them addressing kids. Now, the main video I want to talk about.
Your parents screwed up. It's okay to say so. That's why I made a Patreon.
So you want to talk to kids whose parents have screwed up? Why? Why you want to talk to these particular kids? Why?
That's why I made a Patreon, so that we could talk about it, so that we could connect in a way that has more privacy, so that we could talk to each other in a way that's more open, and stuff that we wouldn't share like in the comments of a video like this. I think you're worthy. And
so you want to talk to kids on a social media platform privately about topics that cannot be talked about in the video of TikTok's comments sections. Because why? Why you want to do that? Why you can't chat about these topics in these comments?
He's a groomer and he needs his hard drive checked.
Is it because he might get flagged or something? What could be the reason? Could this be one of the reasons? Going no contact with the kids' parents? Because you say in one of your videos how kids can go no contact with their parents. So you teach kids how to go no contact with their parents? Is that what you're teaching them on Patreon?
Isn't that the definition of grooming, is to try and separate the children from their parents?
Or is it this? You're teaching this more on... Because this video might get flagged. That's why I don't want to say the word. And this is Jeffrey Marsh's Patreon. You talk about this topic with kids. Now here are just some of the signs of grooming. Literally one of the first ones. Gaining access and isolating the victim. asking them privately to go on Patreon, and talking to them privately so you can connect, and then showing these kids that you trust them, you love them, you'll keep their secrets, and to keep them isolated from their parents. And then the icing on the cake is this video.
Hi, beautiful. If you do not have a family that loves you, I'm going to be your family.
No, you can't. You are a stranger on the internet. You are not their family. Oh, and another thing. You can turn off age restrictions on Patreon, so kids can go to Jeffrey Marsh's their Patreon.
Definitely needs the hard drive checked. Emergency, emergency. Anyone? Okay, we'll finish off with a little bit in Australia. The Cooker King, Victoria has new number plates. Victoria, the crime state. Great work, Daniel Andrews. Got to look after your criminal mates like you always have. Dirty Dan posing with Benji Veneman, not Dino Dibra like it says, and Carl Williams at a nightclub in Melbourne, 1994. Don't forget Dan used to run a hot dog van for slain underworld drug dealer Michael Marshall. There's Dan Andrew. I can't see it very clearly though. Carl Williams and Dino Dibra. Which it's not Dino Dibra. Who is it? It's Benji Veniaman. Young thugs arrested over high-level crimes will no longer face charges because the Andrew government's moved to raise the age of criminal responsibility. That's all you need. I'm so over this. Hi, I hear you. The Chinese mine collapse. I hope they try to get the people out, will they? Oh, no. Let's have a look. Oh, no. They're not going to try and get those people out. There's no way in the world. Do you really think China cares? Ooh. And that wouldn't they be the Uyghurs and the people that China don't like? Who would they'd lock up or make work in these mines? What do you think? I don't think they'd try and get them out. I don't think they care. The government, I mean, not the people, the government. That's horrific. Goodness me. Oh, and I got to correct a video from yesterday that, or the day before, that showed Joe Biden talking about drafting children. No, the reason I did think it was real at first is because Zelensky was there saying the US have to send their children to fight for Ukraine. Now, I went back and listened to Joe Biden. He was talking too clearly. That does look like a deep fake. Okay, so it's going to get really hard. You guys are going to have to help me, and you guys are doing a great job at helping me pick out what is real and what is not. My goodness. Red pills are yummy, said I predict March. Katie Koenig said soon. I do believe very, very soon. Things are escalating. They're ramping up, including with war, what's it good for? So I do believe that something is going to go off very soon. And this one, it's me, Katia, said it takes a special kind of stupid to try and rob a gun store. So I hope you were watching that. So it was playing while I was talking. If not, just rewind a little bit and have a look. Danny Q said half the force is filled with Gestapo-style thugs. I've lost all respect for Victoria Police. While there are still some good cops there, it seems most have relished the opportunity to become Dan's private army of stormtroopers. And meanwhile in Melbourne, said it's a scientific fact we have a crazy police officer in the Melbourne, Victoria. Okay, let's have a look.
Anti-vaxxers, anti-mask. Look, the tinfoil hat-wearing brigade are alive and well out there in our community, and they're taking every opportunity to leverage the current situation to serve their own ridiculous notion. Anti-vaxxers,
honestly, the most incompetent people are running things at the moment. This bloke sounds like he's on something. I don't know. Sounded a bit slow there. Not the brightest spark, you know. And honestly, when you look at American politics, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and all the dumbasses over there, we've got the same here, don't you worry. Okay, ours is stupid. Our Prime Minister is stupid. Alexandria Marshall said, forget tax the rich, let's just tax the politicians. Double their personal tax rate, and upon being sworn in, tax everything else they do at an increased rate as a moral judgment. Listen to them scream about tax being a disincentive for success all of a sudden. I happen to agree with that. That would teach them a lesson. Rage Against the Vaccine said now the people of Northern Ireland will have access to exactly the same choice of food that the rest of the UK enjoys. Is this what's going on in Ireland? Guys, grow your own food. Wow, wow. Happening everywhere. I don't know if this is what's going on in Ireland. If anyone is over there, please let me know. Prue McSween said if you can't find much sympathy for those affected by Albo MP's super lie, get this. According to tax data, construction workers, farmers, doctors, lawyers, self-managed retirees and executives, and many aged over 60, are among the people who will be paying more tax on their super. I remember when super came out, you weren't supposed to be paying tax on it. It was supposed to be tax-free. Malcolm Roberts said Labor has already broken their no changes to super promise. They're coming for your house next. Jim Chalmer refuses to rule it out. Okay, for those who own their home, there you go. Dr. Simon Godek said now that I'm jobless and Elon Musk doesn't silence critical voices, I can finally post without censorship. I'm convinced there are only two genders. Man-made climate change is a scam, and NATO initiated the war, and virology is pseudoscience. And I'm speaking with a, what would you call it? I'm slurring on purpose. Follow at your own risk. I agree with him. That's exactly right. Malcolm Roberts said, do you believe politicians should stick to the promises they made in election campaigns, or is it okay to break those promises when it aligns with your beliefs? In response to Sally McManus, who said, it's excellent Albo MP is closing tax loopholes for the handful of extremely wealthy individuals who have been using the super system to minimise their tax. Superannuation is for dignified retirement, not a tax minimisation scheme. Well, it's also not a scheme that the government should be dipping their fingers into. But apparently they are. Okay, David Paulides said, I can only speak for myself. After Ben took his life, this is his son, okay? He had bouts of extreme depression. The only thing that pulled him out of it was a long run or workout and sweating profusely. It worked every time. I thought about Ben during those runs, but it was good thoughts. And this is in response to Stephen Phillips, MD. University of South Australia researchers are calling for exercise to be a mainstay approach for managing depression, as a new study shows that physical activity is 1.5 more times effective than counselling or the leading medications. I could have told them that. Anyway, exercise is very, very, very good for your mental health. Believe me, I know it's hard to get up and get motivated to do it. It is worth it. Grabby said Peter Dutton MP, the voice is no modest proposal, but a carefully crafted attempt to replace Crown sovereignty. The sovereignty of all of us, with the co-sovereignty demanded by the Uluru Statement, Janet Albrechtsen. You must vote no. So people are caught in the act. What else is the voice lobby not telling us? Well, they're not telling you anything, really. I don't know. I don't think I can read this. I think they want you to pay for it or something. Is it going to show for me? Nope. Okay, subscribe. The gamble by Yes activists that we would not look too hard at the proposed wording and its consequences or stand up to bullying has manifestly failed. Say no to the voice, people in Australia, please. Alexandra Marshall said Britain must reject Sharia law completely, close its courts and forbid its influence on any institution inside the UK. Western civilization cannot maintain a free and open civil society if it is beholden to a parallel religious system that undermines human and civil rights. And I do agree with that, because Sharia law, I'm pretty sure, was started by these CIA puppets. Because before In the 1970s, a lot of these countries were freer than they are now. Ian P. said, the thickhead is still spouting off about an imaginary $1 trillion. The $715 billion is mostly that hangover from previous Labor governments we never recovered from. Come on, man, said that actually that's simply not true, just another Labor lie if you fell for. Chalmers was forced to tell the truth at the election, and the debt was at $715 billion and falling, most of which was debt left from the crud Gillard years, so the $1 trillion lie was BS all along. Let's have a listen to him, little liar.
Okay, well, net debt $715 billion for 22-23 in the budget that was just released.
There you go. I tried to say it was $1 trillion. But watch Labor take it up there. They'll have it there, no, don't you worry, in no time at all. David Vance said trans activists insist that Jesus was trans. I wonder if they would say the same about Allah. No, they wouldn't. Oh, look at, they're so sensible. Look at them. I mean, seriously, wow. You're really going to get through to people doing that. Okay, let's have a listen.
If you don't play into the trans agenda, you're cast out as a bully and a vulnerable.
They're trying to say if you don't go with the trans agenda, you're cast out. I don't think so, love. I think it's the other way around. Malcolm Roberts said Jim Chalmers has said the cap won't be indexed. That means with inflation running out of control, the cap will get closer and closer to everyday Australians. Never mind that it's estimated today's millennials and Gen Zers will need $3 million to retire comfortably. But if you do have $3 million in your superannuation, you're going to get taxed. There you go. Okay, the US, Ian Miles Chong said the US will have to send their sons and daughters exactly the same way as we are sending our sons and daughters to war. And they'll have to fight because it's NATO that we're talking about, and they will be dying. Zelensky said what they expect the US to do if Ukraine loses. Okay, listen.
The U.S. will have to send their sons and daughters exactly the same way as we are sending their sons and daughters to war, and they will have to fight because it's NATO that we're talking about, and they will be dying, God forbid, because it's a horrible thing. The U.S. will have to send...
Oh, yeah, that's kind of why I thought it might have been a real thing, but no, I went back and listened to Joe Biden. Do you think it's okay to send your kids off to fight and die for Ukraine? Why? Why would anyone? Why? Okay. Alan Plemming said, why do Australians not get told about this? The black fam tagging all these people. The average Australian won't be happy about this. What about West Papua genocide, Senator Wong? Will you be regarded as soft? Rosemary said to Senator Wong, she and the Labor government are too busy bestowing an Australian AO award on an Indonesian general and entertaining on Australian soil, Prabowo, discharged from the military for his role in mass disappearances, rapes and torture of Timorese neighbours. Ooh. DC Drano said, can we all agree that if World War III starts, this is a draft order? First, every politician that voted to fund Ukraine. Oh, I'm all for that. Second, every media anchor that supported the funding of Ukraine. Third, everyone with a Ukraine flag in their bio. And fourth, anyone who's ever tweeted you're a Putin puppet. Hey, I fully agree. Yep, let's send them all off first, eh? And their children. Fifth, every Hollywood celebrity that visited Zelensky in Kiev. And sixth, the families of everyone listed above. That should be enough. Oh, I fully agree, mate. I really, really do. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Let me know what you think about this down below. Have a good one. Okay, guys, bye.